Welcome, welcome. I want to welcome you to today's live stream. As we get started, I want to welcome you all. And I want to say literally, welcome to a new era, a new day, a new time. I want to welcome every person. Thanks for joining, or if you're joining in the future, whether you're an entrepreneur, an agency owner, a consultant, a coach, a freelancer, a business leader, or simply just curious about where AI is going and technology is heading, you've arrived in the right place. Because over the next 100 days, you're gonna witness something that very few people understand, building or the emerging of a digital current economy, right? You've arrived exactly right at the time, because we're starting at the beginning where one of the greatest things are actually happening in history, the greatest shifts that are actually taking place. A bigger shift than social media, a bigger shift than smartphones, a potential bigger shift than the actually internet itself. For decades, business growth has been a simple formula. More customers mean more staff mean more management mean more complexity means higher costs. Businesses were forced to trade time, money, and people in order to scale. But now the model is changing. Right now, a new technology, a new workforce is emerging. It's not here. It's not in the future, shall I say. We are living it right now, right? It's not in 5 years' time to come. It's happening right now. It's happening today, right? A workforce that is made up of intelligent AI agents capable of performing business functions that solve real business problems and generate real business income and outcomes. Some people already have seen tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or Copilot, and these tools are useful, but they just answer questions like write content, generate ideas. But where we're heading, right, that's not the way the story stops. The next stage is AI agents, right? Agents that don't just think, agents that actually act. Agents that can send emails, book appointments, update CRMs, generate reports, manage projects, execute workflows, and can do complete tasks, right, without constant supervision. But even, right, that's only touching the surface, believe it or not, because now we're entering an era of the autonomous workforce, where you have a group of autonomous special agents, right, at your disposal. We call them digital employees designed for specific roles to work inside your business. So instead of giving AI a task, you give it a responsibility. You give it a department. You give it a job, right? A large outcome. And imagine hiring an entire marketing team within minutes, a sales team that never sleeps, an operational department that is constantly improving efficiency, a customer success team that is available 24 hours, an executive team that monitors and coordinates every movement of your business. That's where the future that we're building right now, which I'm going to show you, right? And that's exactly what I want you to be prepared for today, right? So if your business can adapt to these changes, OMG. Well, over the last few months, my team have been developing something extraordinary, right? We've been developing a platform of 60 plus specialized agents, which we are harnessing and we're improvising and improving. Each one trained to do a specific business role, each one designed to help businesses generate more leads, close more deals, improve operations, improve productivity, scale faster than ever before. So imagine having an army of how can I say, marketing agents, right, at your disposal to create content, to build funnels, to help you with your campaigns, to create lead magnets, or a sales army to help you qualify prospects, identify bottlenecks in your business, or optimize workflows, or a success team, right, to coordinate all your clients that come on board, handle customer support, even executive assistants like a CEO to coordinate all your agents, right? It's a remarkable time that we're actually living in, right? And this is only the beginning. So for the next 100 years, I always say 100 years, for the next 100 days, I'm going to be demonstrating and building this platform live for you in public with you, so you can see the wins, what's actually happening, what's actually possible, how you can deploy 60 plus agents in your business to scale, to create more income, right, to have more productivity, right? You're going to see us test systems, develop agents, optimize agents, and also see what's actually happening in the current landscape of technology, right? So today, I want to thank you for joining this live stream, right? You're going to witness an anonymous workforce, right, which we've developed, right? And how we use our 60 plus agents. We are growing as well. So over the last few months, we started with 5, 10, 20, and now we're just growing, because I used to hire like 20 plus people in the Philippines. Now my offer changed, and I realized what they took to do in 2 weeks, AI can do it. Some of our AI agents can do it in 5 minutes. So this changed the scale drastically. So it's not about, how can I say, amplifying. It's about amplifying, shall I say, human behavior, human potential. It's about giving ordinary businesses access to capabilities that once were only available to billion-dollar companies. This is what this platform is going to create opportunities to do, right? So entrepreneurs, if you're an entrepreneur, I want you to take heed, right? We are on the biggest breakthrough, what's actually happening in history. Something, right? It's like you're witnessing it. So as I start to demonstrate some of this stuff, you will see, right? Because every day I start my shifts, I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you what I do. Let me just load my platform. Here's our platform, right? Called Supreme X Agents, right? .ai. Build your own AI workforce, not just automation. The day of automations, make.com, NA, Zapier, they're gone. They're dinosaur days. But now we're in the days of autonomous workforce and creating agents that can do the work. Right? So let me log in. This is my platform. This is my command center. Every day I log in, I see my army of agents. Actually, let me just make sure. Let me go sure I'm just sharing my screen. Yes. So, as I was saying, this is my command center. These are all the agents that are working. We've got, actually, let me come and show you what's actually, let me just go into this is my super admin, right? Let me go into these are the agents that are working, right, in my company right now, or I'm about to be deployed, right? The sales agent, right? It just failed on a task. But the ideal workflow, this is a new agent called the ideal work. It's like a supreme board, right? Where we can map our ideas. This is a 48-hour YouTube launch, which I'm going to show you. We're going to go in today. This is our LinkedIn agent, right? All these agents are running. This is a YouTube click through, right? It was running. This is our YouTube content idea generator. This is our channel planner. This is our course builder. Some clients we help build their courses. This is our weekly scorecard agent. Every week we have a weekly scorecard of what's actually happening in our business and also clients that we help. This is our script writer for us to produce scripts for ourselves and for our clients, which is a game changer, right? This is actually, that's for our sales script, shall I say. So every time we create offers, we develop sales scripts, so our team can jump on the phone, close the sales. So we've actually got a framework for that, right? This is our YouTube script, right, for us to write long form content, short form content. This is our document, or where we've got documents, we plan, we analyze, right? This is our visual agent. So we've got an array of agents working today, right? So I'm just going to go into, I always like to say how these agents are coordinated, right? We have a chief operating officer, right? The chief operating officer operates these agents, right? Let me just see. And every day I'm going to ask what tasks are to be done today. I actually I ask it based on it knowing our playbook, right? And what agents are doing, what tasks need to be done. And then it gives me a mandate for the day. Like you see here, it says today's priorities: launch our automated lead reactivation campaign, deploy AI booking system to capture inbound leads, audit current sales process, right? So it gives me a nutshell. What actually, imagine having the CEO of a company, right, of your company, after you've given it playbook, actually orchestrating these agents and telling them what to do. It's an awesome time to be in, right? Based on your weekly authority content engine, right? The mission manual trigger for the business, right? Playbook. And we're going to focus on this today, the weekly authority content engine, because content is currency. So today I'm going to show you how we develop a framework for content in order to get content out there, create more visibility for ourselves and for our clients. So this is what's telling me. So this is going to be really like the key dissenting factor that we're going to focus on today, right? One, content production, right? Weekly authority content engine is set to manual and needs to be triggered. Run weekly content authority engine mission, gather this week's content batch, or run already recorded YouTube videos. Feed transcript to these agents. The 48-hour video launch agent, that's so interesting because that's the agent we're going to analyze today. The Twitter agent, the LinkedIn agent, lead generation 2, part 2, right? Step 2, the tasks are priority, right? Gap, no active listening, no active missions running. Actions, trigger the Google Map lead generation agent, right, to scrape 100 businesses for med spas, coaches, etc. So priority number 3, outbound reactivation. So every morning, right, I come into my command center for my company, and my chief operating officer, which is an agent, right, commissions me and updates me what needs to be done for the today. And then I can start going and commission agents. I can commission agents here. I can activate these agents, right? By either just write in here I can activate them here. Let me just go back. The weekly authority content agent. Yeah, I can go back here. I can liaise with my team, physical team, my agent team. I can liaise with them, and literally, let me just go and see our 48-hour agent. I want to ask it a question. I can even ask the agents questions, right? Which is pretty awesome. Let me just go and find this. Right. I'm going to ask it, are you working on any tasks today? I want to know what's in the pipeline, right? So literally, this is the agent that was mentioned by our chief operating officer. I just want to ask the agent if it's working. It says 1 active mission today, 1 reoccurring mission running, weekly content for content authority engine, set manual triggers, right? No auto task scheduled for today, right? So this is giving me an update. You've got infrastructure of assessment. You've got infrastructure of we've got 69 agents. Some are testing one. One on content soon to be deployed, right? This means no leads, no content. So this is what I'm going to be working on. I'm going to show you the power of this agent, right? And how it orchestrates and what's its role. But in order to understand how we got here, you have to understand that every agent has to understand our playbook. So if I go here, we developed a playbook, industry playbook, right? And I want you to actually do some vibe coding today, but my agent platform is down, right? So I'm just gonna, normally I interact and fix updates on the platform as I go live. So this is our business playbook. Every client that we work with, they have a playbook, right? This is the business overview, our core services, the mission, the revenue price points, our ideal ICP, the pain points, the goals, the buy-in triggers, the objections, where our clients hanging out, our potential audiences. And if we've got 2 or 3 offers, we have to do this for every single offer. Our sales process, how we close, right? Booking process, our discovery core framework, our closing style. Every agent has to have access to this information. Our ads and hooks, and we update this. Our objection bank, how if we've got objections working with a client, what we handle. Our SOPs, right? Onboarding process, client delivery process, teamwork process. So it's very detailed, right? This playbook is what all the agents operate from, and what the CEO also uses as a reference point to give us updated information and a knowledge back. So how do we literally, when you use other agents like normally off platforms, they don't have a memory yet, right? So it's hard for them to recall. They just do session work. But here, all the agents, right, are tracked every single day. They build an intelligence portal, right? And this is the brain of the company. And if we was going to onboard someone else, how we develop their playbook, we just ask them these 3 key questions, right? What does your business do? Who do you serve? And what's your unique edge? And out of that, once we do that, it generates a complete new playbook. A complete new playbook. One of these times on the stream, I'm going to show you a demonstration of that, right? Within 5 to 10 minutes. And then we go in and we optimize it. So that playbook is very crucial, because now how we connect our agents to that. Let me go to our agent AI, right? Let me go to the 48-hour agent, right? These are all the agents. I want to show you how they all coordinate together. Like you see, we have to inject them into the playbook. So it says inject into business playbook. We turn it on. Just that one feature, that's now how it starts to understand the company goals, the industry playbook. And now it can work effectively, right? So none of these agents are working in isolation. None of these are working in isolation. And our goal, or our CEO informed us today, was a 48-hour launch. So I'm going to look at that agent. So these are all the agents. I'm looking at what agents are injected into the playbook, right? This was not injected in the playbook, but we updated that agent. So agents, if we injected into the playbook, you will see them tagged on like this, and they got knowledge to that playbook. So they're not working in isolation, right? This is a very intelligent system, right? So this is our agent, right? So as you can see, the 48-hour launch, that means every time we do a long piece of content, after we do a long piece of content, we've got a process, what I'm going to show you today. This agent actually helps in the promotion of that content. So when this is toggled on, it understands our playbook. And like it says here, it's injecting the playbook. And also we have browser automation. This is a new feature that we incorporated. That means when we click on here, it can now go into platforms and post content, etc., whatnot, and start use browser automation. So this is the agent that we're going to talk specifically today, like we said, because our CFO actually made a mention of it. So let me go back. Let me go back. Let me give my battery some life. So this is a agent that we did, right? A taskboard agent that we built, right? Taskboard. This is one of our many agents I want to share with you today. Actually, I'm working on optimizing this agent. But this agent, normally it dumps today's task, tomorrow's task in here. And also we've got a task list where it delegates in order. Actually, I'm going to automate this process because the CEO knows the task. So it should automatically delegate them to these given boxes, right? So then we know, and the other agents know what we're actually working on, right? So let me go to run. When we want to run an agent, we just go to run. Actually happening. Run is deploying the agent in actual motion, right, to start a task. So I'm just going to go, let me look for the agent. This is the ideal agent supreme board that we developed. I'm going to go in there today because we've got optimize. Today we're working on optimizing our agents, right? We've got two methods how to optimize an agent, which I'm going to go into. Actually, let me open up. Actually, yeah, let me open up other. First, what I'm going to do to optimize the 48-hour launch agent, I have to actually tell you what the 48-hour launch agent does to give you justice so you actually know. So let me just go, let me go to this agent. Every agent's got a description of what it does. So I'm going to give you a deep insight, first of all, what it does before I start working on optimizing the agent. And every agent needs training to be deployed. And also there's a continuous learning loop. And you're going to see the continuous learning loop. We don't just do the agent. We don't just develop an agent and just say that's it. No, we optimize the agent. So this is our agent, and its roles and responsibilities are what this agent does. So it takes a single form of long form content and produces written pieces of assets and also a promotional campaign, right? So we just take a 10 to 20 minute piece of content and we turn it into 40 pieces of content in a nutshell. And it creates assets like article content as well, which is good for SEO. So this is what this agent does. So I'm going to show you. I just want to give you a background of what the agent does, right? So let me just go and literally, I'm going to individually run this agent so you can see, right? So actually, I've got a new piece of content. Let me take this new piece of content, which I actually did. I had a new piece of content. Let me use the content from this video. I'm just going to give it. Content is king at any point in time. You can go and watch. This is the machine that builds the machine, right? So that video is a deep breakdown analysis of what I'm actually talking about, right? So I'm just going to go to the agent for a second. Let me run the agent. I want you to see it in action, hopefully. Right. So all we do, we come to this agent, we got to give it instructions, right? I'm just going to say test the machine. machine that builds the machine. And literally we built a machine, right? I'm going to give it the YouTube URL. That's so important. We give it the YouTube URL, right? We give it the YouTube URL. And then I'm just going to generate from that YouTube URL. It's going to generate some angles. I'm going to choose this angle. Then I'm going to choose the audience. If there's no other audience here, we just leave it blank. The tone, I'm going to create educational. The primary actual action, I'm just going to put machine. Second, I'm going to put build. I'm going to put AI. Right? The call to action, I'm just going to leave it here. Normally, I'll put a link here. Actually, I'm going to put a link. I'm just going to get this link, all right? Because I want to show you. Let me get this link. I'm going to get this link from my website, right? Let's start now. This is start one. This is my calendar, right? This is what we do for our clients as well, right? I'm going to get that link. I'm going to come back. I'm going to put that link here, right? Remember, visibility is currency. Visibility is everything. And then I'm just going to press run and let the agent go to work, right? It's going to generate the assets. We're going to come back and see the assets that it's generated. So while it's doing that, this is the agent that we're optimizing today. I need to do some updates on it. So I wish I could vibe code live, but my vibe code platform is down at the moment. Let me see. So this is the agent, right? This agent is phenomenal, but we're going to optimize it, right? I want to show you how we get a group of agents. Sometimes we used to pay staff to do this role. They used to take a week, sometimes a week and a half. Now the agent will do it approximately in like 5 minutes. Let's see, 5 minutes. I'm going to come back to that, right? So now I'm going to show you. This is our Supreme board. This is another agent that we developed, right? So with the agent, we needed to optimize it, right? We had this clipping feature, right? I'm going to show you. But also we was using an API to clip, which now we wanna, since we're building out the platform, we wanna get more people. So we wanna reduce the API limit that we use. Let me just go and see if it's done. It's still generating. It may take 30 seconds. Yeah. So we had an issue with the agent, right? With the agent, when we was clipping on the third-party platform through the API, it wasn't cutting the videos correctly. It had an issue, right? It had an issue. So this is the front half, me speaking. This is the top half, but you could see it was sidelined, right? And that wasn't good because we're losing, like, we're gonna lose attention. And we don't want to lose attention. Every video has the possibility to go out there and generate more leads, get more attention. Attention is currency, and you know the rest. So we optimizing. This is what our framework that we want to do to build our own back end, right? So the user will upload a 30-minute. They'll store. We're going to store it. This is my thought process. We don't just go and build out we don't just go to ChatGPT and ask. Now we just do very deep analysis, right? We want to know, like, the autonomy, right? The infrastructure, what actually happens, right? So the process, we was using a third party and wasn't getting the results that we wanted. So I decided that we are going to build out our own back end, which you're going to see over this stream, because this is intensive build. Upload YouTube video, right? Link like I showed you. Store the VS in Cloudflare. Transcribe via Whisper, assemble DP, AI, best clip, use Claude ChatGPT, claps it. Then we're going to use FMP, which is another piece of software where it actually cuts the clips up. Then we're going to reframe the layout through using like custom FMEG and remotion, which is another skill. And then we're going to use the skills of Whisper for the timestamps and remotion again. Then we're going to export the info to our dashboard, right? So this is the process of literally we're going to vibe code, right? We're going to vibe code this. We're literally going to vibe code this. And this is how we're optimizing this agent. Let me just go back and see if this agent has run. So here you go, that same agent, right? So the same agent within a nutshell of like 3 or 4 minutes, you can see here, right? For YouTube, it's come up with the title option. It's come up with the description, right? It's come up with the hashtags, right? Let's go to Reels. It's created 6 additional reels that we can shoot at the fly of a whim, right? 6 additional reels from that one piece of content. You are the bottleneck in your business. You think you need more leads, more traffic, more content, but the real problem is that you are doing everything manually, right? And we was doing things manually. We had a manual like employee in the Philippines doing this content for ourselves and for our clients, right? But like I said, that reel, and it's not giving you AI slot. We put intelligence in there, so it's intelligently writing these scripts, right? Most businesses fail the machine test, right? Most businesses fail the machine test. Most businesses fail the machine test. Like I said, right? Businesses, individuals don't think like as a collective, or business don't think of collective, but 6 powerful scripts, right? I can shoot that, which I literally am going to go and shoot that, right? And then I've got captions for X, for TikTok, for Instagram, right? For YouTube Shorts. Then I've got DM scripts, right? So now, you know, when we put what people comment on, when they comment like, what do we say, machine or AI? These are the scripts, right? That they'll go out to. These scripts, right? We've got scripts to handle objections, and we've got scripts to book a question, right? So it does that. Then we develop a Medium article, right? We place an article on Medium. It has like 100 million plus, like that. Like that's how many people visit that website alone, right? But here, then also we develop a thumbnail. So if I go here, develop a thumbnail for the article, it's going to develop a thumbnail for the article, right? We just got to optimize that to the size, but it's going to develop a thumbnail for the article. I can go to article, and now I've got a thumbnail. It can go and post. Then also LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn's a powerful medium. It develops a LinkedIn. It develops a LinkedIn post for us, right? I've been working my LinkedIn. This is a LinkedIn post that it does, right? So it builds a credibility over extreme like period of time, right? Now, also, it builds a Twitter article, right? Just imagine from that same 10-minute piece of content, Twitter article. And then it gives us viral tweets that we can like morning, afternoon, or the following day. It gives us these viral tweets that we can just automatically post, right? And also we're automating this, right? Look, publish to Twitter, right? So also it gives us Facebook. It gives us a Facebook article, right? Or a post. Now I also can do the same thing, generate a thumbnail. It's going to generate a thumbnail. Also, we can post on our website, our own ordinary website. Right? All this is done in the space of 5 minutes. Then Substack, it gives us a Substack icon. Substack's incredibly powerful, right? Gives us a Substack icon. And then Olympus Clip, right? Olympus Clip. Now we were using a third party, literally. I'm just gonna show you. We was using this third party API. This is what we're going to optimize. And an Olympus Clip takes one piece of content and cuts it out into 40 pieces. Like I said, we hit a problem. So like you said, it was giving us content like this, and we want valuable content. But just to show you in 5 minutes, just this one agent, and this is one agent only part of one flow, right? It's only part of one flow. I want you to understand in 5 minutes, right? So just imagine, right? 40 pieces of content going out there. If you do, let's do the equation. Let's do the math. Let me go to my board here, right? 40 pieces of content. Let me take this here. So one video equals 40 pieces of content, right? Even more content assets, right? So that's us posting. That's us posting once a week, right? But if we times this by 3, right? 3 times a week, 10 to 20 minute videos, right? And we've developed a machine to make it all possible. You're not writing, thinking of the idea. Now I'm going to show you the whole framework coming up, right? We've got, this is just the 48 hour is just one agent what promotes the content after the scripting, the idea, and everything has been done, right? So we times that by 3 times a week, right? We're going to times 40 times 3, right? That's 120 pieces of content this agent can produce, right? Times that by 4, right? That is that's 480 pieces of content a month, I believe. 480 pieces of content, right? So this is the power of visibility, right? We said visibility is currency, right? And the people winning in this modern world we're moving in is those people who are going to be more visible. But if you was to do content yourself, chop it up, they'll take hours. Like you said, like my team used to take a week and a half to do stuff like this, right? Chop up 40 pieces of content, analyze it, write the scripts, right? So now we've just changed the game with this one agent. Imagine 40 pieces of content. A week, that's 120 pieces of content. A month, that's 400 pieces of content, right? And a Mosey does 400 pieces, 50 pieces of content a week. So just imagine, right? Let's double this. Let's double this, right? Now we've got a machine doing, we've got agents doing this, right? Now we're going to times this by 6. Right? We're going to times this by 6. So that's 240 pieces of content, right? 240 pieces of content. Let me extend this board. I want to tell you, right, there's no way 240 pieces of content. 240, right? And if you're an agency, this is something is of substantial beneficial for you, because if you've got a roster of clients, now you can go back to them and say, we can help you, right? And the output is like 5 minutes, right? But you're producing so much content in that given period of time, right? So now I'm going to time 240 times 4, right? That's 960 pieces of content. 960 pieces of content, right? Of content. Just imagine that, right? And that's a month. So if we times that, right? I want to show you the power of AI agents, right? If we times that by 12, There's no way. I'm telling you, right? I'm going to go in this, right? This is deep. 960 times 12, right? 960 times 12. That is 11,000. I got to put this down, right? That is, right? This is an incredible amount of piece of content, right? That is 11,522 pieces of content a year, right? Now you tell me if you cannot make content like that. And just like you might say, I'm going to show you, right? This is just one agent, right? So let me just do the same thing. Because even if you've done half the time, right? Let's times 4 times 80 times 12, right? This is 500 and right. This is what the top industry people, how much content they're putting out, right? I'm going to time this by 12, right? This equals 5,760 pieces of content, right? If you want to dominate your industry, right, this is what it's taking, right? Remember, a Mosey does 450 pieces a week, right? He's got a machine, right? This is just one agent, right? So I'm going to go into it, right? I'm going to go into it deeper. At least I got a little glitch on this agent whiteboard. It keeps, sometimes it just, I've got to work on that, right? So I want to show you, that's just one agent, what does the promo, right? What our team used to take them like at least a week to chop up so many pieces of content of editing hours, right? So this is just one agent. Now I want to show you, right, how the game is shifting, right? Because like I said, authority is key, right? This is why we're creating the agents. So we're not just creating agents that randomly. This is deep science what goes into it, right? So here's the authority loop. The thought that went into this agent, that 48-hour agent, right? So we want to build authority with content. Now you tell me if 5,000 pieces of content can't build authority. So we have authority content going out there. We have inbound leads coming in. They're going to create sales. Then we create a delivery system. Then we create an improvement system. Then we get better insights from that content. And then the client, we get better output. So this is the authority loop, the compounding wheel. This is the machine that we're creating. That was one agent I showed you. I'm going to show you how we group them together. Right, we've got 4 or 5 agents in that workflow. Because when we come out, when I go back into the dashboard, we create missions, right? This is where we create missions. We team 4 or 5 agents together. We create missions. We create 4 or 5 agents together, right? This is where the future of technology is. I want you to understand. This is what we call an autonomous workforce. So now I'm just going to go into, I can go into mission control. I can create agents here, right? This is another platform feature, how we join agents together. But let me just create a new mission, right? So that is just one agent. Actually, before I trigger these agents, right, I'm going to go to, let me go to the YouTube full engine, right? So this is the YouTube full agent, right? This is what we're going to go to, right? So this is agent 1, goes to agent 2, the idea generator, generate YouTube ideas, like I said, right? Then we got a thumbnail. Then we got a thumbnail or optimizer. Actually, there's something missing, right? Let me, I'm going to build this out, right? This is very detailed, right? So I'll delete all these, right? So this is how we create the automations. Literally, right? We're going to go into, I just got, actually the first agent that we have is the channel planner. which we're going to go to the YouTube channel planner. So let me just delete this. This is how we build the missions for different agents to work together. Yeah, let me delete this. Right now I'm building a mission, right, for these agents to work literally together. Now, there's no way how you can tell me, right, an ordinary person just doing this manually, right, can beat someone with this level of sophistication and systems and AI agents, right? So I'm going to go here. First of all, we're going to have the channel planner, which I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the channel planner. But let me just move this. Right now, I'm creating a workflow. I'm going to get the channel planner agent. Right, the channel planner agent will liaise with the ideal generator agent to generate ideas. Right, I'm going to go into this. Let me delete this. Ideal generator. Right, I'm going to delete this flow. I vibe coded all this. Normally, if we got some issues, some of it I vibe code live just to correct the issues. But our vibe coding platform, I need to fix it, but I didn't want to miss the stream. So now I'm gonna literally bring another agent into the picture. Right, this agent is our script, right? Because we've got to generate scripts, and this is how we easily help our clients generate scripts. So we've got a script writing agent. So I'm going to go to the YouTube script writing agent, and you're going to see. Let me get a YouTube script writing agent. Here it is. Right. So this is gonna. So first of all, we've got a channel planner. We've got our ideal generator. We've got a YouTube script writer planner, and then from the scripts, let me just delete this. This is architect at work. From the script, this was the agent that we was talking about. Remember, my CFO was telling me this is the task that we've got to fix. So then I'm gonna get this our click-through optimizer, right? It optimizes our videos. It optimizes our videos. I'm not going to be using these agents today. I'm just going to keep it simple for the problem of the stream, but we can get very detailed. Optimize the agent. Then I'm just going to click I'm going to look for a teleprompter. We've got a teleprompter agent. It goes to teleprompter so we can do the script. Then afterwards, the teleprompter, the script is done. Then afterwards, let me delete these. Let me delete these. It comes to the video's ready. Then it comes to here. Right. So this is our workflow. This is agent number 1, agent number 2. Agent number 1 is a channel planner. Agent number 2 is our YouTube idea generator. No matter what niche you are. Agent number 3 is a script writer. Now, agent number 4 is a optimizer for click-through rate for the thumbnails and the titles. Agent number 5 is a teleprompter app to help you write the script, or our clients write the script. Then it comes to the script's ready, the video's done, shot. Then it comes to our YouTube YouTube hour agent, right, to promote the video, right? So it's very detailed, right? So let me go back to what I was saying, right? So here in this mix, we have a demand engine, right? A demand engine is responsible for bringing attention to the business, right? And those people who are getting the most attention, they're going to make the most money. Alex Amosi, just in the space of 2 or 3 days, right, using a similar system, did over like 100 million, right? There's a reason why, because there's a level of sophistication, right? You have to have a machine to go out there. If you're just doing it ordinary on your own, you're left for dust. So the demand engine creates attention, right? Nothing else matters because no one knows you exist. The original includes the content, social media, YouTube videos, shorts, emails, advertising. The goal is to build authority, like what we said. We want to build authority and trust, more visibility while attracting the right audience into your ecosystem. Think of it as your front door for your business, literally, right? YouTube is long form content. That's where the most money is made, then shorts, then DMs, then calls, right? This is the process. Then we have a sales conversion engine, sales, right? We even have an agent for this, right? Once attention has been created, a conversion engine takes place. The job is to turn interested prospects into paying customers. This happens through conversations, consultants, sales calls, follow-ups, relationship building, right? And we got agents to do that, right? Another show, another stream, we're going to go into that. Then we have a delivery engine, the fulfillment engine, right? Delivery engine is where the promise to keep the results, right? When you get clients, no matter what industry, what business, right, you want to fulfill. So you've got a delivery system of how you feel, right? Then we've got agents for that. Then also, right, which we recently done, right, a measurement engine, a scorecard for KPIs to measure the engine, right? What aspect, how do we score the business, right? We've got engine. Also, we use that also on our sales calls, right? We literally have a score engine. Let me just go and see, right, to show you the levels. Let me see if I can get the agent up right now, right? Let me just go back. Let me open up a new window of employees. So I'm telling you, this is the future of how work is going to be done. Right? You're seeing it happening in real time. So let me just go and let me run this. I want to see the scorecard. The scorecard is very important for every single business because you have to keep score of where you are. But there's an agent for even that. Weekly scorecard agent, right? I'm going to open it up, all right? There's levels to this game. And this time, I'm just going to fill sample data, right? So fill sample data just for a guide. I'm going to do generate board, right? So this is how we're keeping track of metrics. This is another agent. What's analyzed in the score. So imagine you're getting these holes of traffic. Every week, you got to account for like leads, what's actually happening, right? And why it takes like 4 or 5 minutes to actually, maybe 2, 3, I'm going to come back to it. But this is how we keep track. So we're getting these holds of traffic. We've got agents to go and get this traffic. 4 or 5 agents that work in that process workflow, right? Now, while that's doing, I'm going to come back to that, right? I'm going to come back to that score agents because I want to show you, right, how agentic workflows are actually working in detail. So let me come back to that while that is loading. And let me go back to our Supreme board. Where do I have it? Right, our Supreme board, right? So visibility is currency, right? So this is how we're creating these agents. We've got a YouTube agent, right? Like I said, we got 4, which I'm going to 4 or 5, which I'm going to go into. But this is the whole point. YouTube to shorts, to DMs, to calls, to raise hands, to rule. And not only that, from the shorts that we get, we're doing content syndication, Instagram, TikTok, right? LinkedIn, all the authority figure platforms, right? And they're following that mega. But every step of the call, we've even got a call agent, right? We've even got a call agent what calls leads, right? So this is a machine, right? So let me just go back. Let me see. I'm going to go back and see. I want to see if that scoreboard has actually developed. So look at this, right? This is another agent. I want to say there's levels to this game, right? This is a scoreboard agent. What helps you keep score is tracking, right? Your CRM, your Facebook. It's getting all the leads and it's tracking them, right? So this is the example, right? So, and it also shows your bottlenecks. You generated 120 leads this week, a healthy 4.2 cost per lead, but only 12 of them booked 10%, booked a call. This is your single biggest constraint. Your problem is not traffic or leads. It is converting those leads into book calls. Once a person gets on the call, you're closing 30%, 7% out solid, like 5K per month service. So if you're an agency, you're a coach, you're selling any kind of high ticket profit offer, this is crucial for you, right? So now you've got your summary of what's actually happening, right? Also, you got a summary scoreboard, lead generation, what's actually happening in each of these departments, sales pipeline, marketing, right? Then you've got your calculated metrics, right? Total leads, what happened today, right? Just pulls it all in instead of going looking in Facebook, Google, pulls it all into one. And plus, if you have multiple different lead sources, it helps, right? Cost per lead, right? It goes into the sales pipeline, right? The sales pipeline, your book calls, your closed clients, etc. You're still optimizing this agent, your marketing, your spend, etc. Your bottlenecks. This is so key, right? Remember, the agent figured this out before you would have a human being like work this out, right? You generate 120 leads. It literally tells you your key wins, right? Your action plan, what you need to do. So this is why the CEO would read this now and coordinate and designate an agent to these specific tasks, right? It's that. So now you have the full report, what actually happens, right? So I just want to show you a summary, right? So every part of the process, right, we are working towards it. So this is just, like I said, an example of a true autonomous workforce of agents working together. So let's go down. So now our CEO told us we need to fix the process. So let me just come here. I need to fix this. It keeps on jumping. So that's another fix I need to fix. So ideal workboard. Let me open up this now. Actually, let me go. I have to choose a board. Right. So that's what we're going to fix. Now we went into the authority. This is why content is king. If you're branding, this is something that we can do for you. Like we can catastrophe you into hemisphere, because there's no way how you can beat this group of agents, right? And this is like I said, the scoreboard agent. Visibility is currency, right? So let me just go into, also I want to see. So now we want to sharpen the saw. But like I said, we have a rate. We want to sharpen the whole content process that I said. So we have agent one. These are agents, right? For long form content. Agent one is a channel planner agent. Agent two is an idea generator agent, right? Agent 3 is our YouTube script writing agent. Agent 4 is a click-through rate optimizer, right? And agent 5 is the YouTube promo 24-hour launch agent, right? We have all these agents working together to achieve this process. But we're going to sharpen our saw, right? They're achieving this process, right? So let me just go and show you these agents together in a workflow, right? So we realized that we created those agents maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. So now we need to optimize them. Things are changing. So I'm going to show you how we do the optimization, right? So let me just go back to these agent workflows. Let me open up a new tab. And I'm going to go to let me go to this agent. This is the future of work. This is the future of work. Let me go to, actually, let me run. Yeah, this is literally the future of work as you're seeing it. No, I don't want to. I want to run. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. So let me open up this new agent. This is the channel planner, right? Channel planner. This is a workflow, right? This is another agent, right? And we're going to be optimizing this agent, right? I want to vibe code this agent to improve how this agent is actually working. So this is the channel planner. This is just like an example of stuff, right? This is my channel planner. When I go here, literally, right, I write the content, right? This has all got strategic benefit. But let me just go to now. We've got the ideas, right? This is the ideas. We've got the scripts, right? So when we've got ideas, so now this is a framework of how we get ideas, right? We come here, right? We put our competitors here and it goes and generates. So I'm going to go to a previous example, right? So this is a previous example. This agent here has its own, let's see what this does, right? Like I said, it finds the top 10 to 20 channels with the highest 5 to 10, the highest content on each of those channels. Then it runs this conversion for the niche, right? And then basically it finds patterns of analysis, right? This is so important. Phase 1, it does pattern analysis for competitors' weakness gaps. Number 2, opportunity map where white spaces are and contrary gaps. 3, upgrade authority titles. 4, develops a growth strategy. 5, develops like content pillars. And then it generates 10 videos that we can use, literally, like, right? So this is what this agent does. But now let's just see. Now I'm just going to go. This is what we did earlier. Mostly these were his top 10 videos. Well, we want to do this on a recurring basis, right? Like I said, it's 4 million subscribers, 2 million views, right? Gatsy. Those of you know, 5 million, 7 million point screws. And these are people who are top in our industry. And necessarily, if you've got a subject, it doesn't necessarily mean you need like lots and lots of views. There's going to things that we call audience equity. I'm going to talk about to you, audience equity. But these are the top people in the industry. Jason Watt, this is another guy. He's 10. This is another guy. Serge, another guy. Right, these are the top 10 views. This is another guy. So we're analyzing all this. It's another guy. Type views on the Samya. This is another guy. We're analyzing all these views. The agent is analyzing them, and it does it within a second, like within like 2 to 3 minutes, right? There's no way, right, that we could do that, or my research team, right? If I had human beings could do that, right? So this is what it does, right? It's strategic. It's strategic. It's strategic. Let me close my. Right? So, but this is the second agent in the flow, right? It's the second agent, right? Then after the second agent, right, we have a script writing agent, right? It writes the scripts, right? We put the script, what's in here. It may look complicated, but it's very straightforward, right? So here, it develops the real script, the hooks, the openers, right? It does all this. This is a script writing agent, right? Clients used to have difficulty writing scripts. Now we can generate like 4 or 5 scripts for them in like an hour, right? Literally. Let me go to my script library, right? These are the scripts that I did last, right? Let me go to 10 AI tools, right? These are scripts that I sometimes put out myself, right? So this is how it generates scripts. Another time I'm going to show in detail how it works, but it does the script hook. It does the raw script setup, right? It gives us like the delivery notes, the cues, the attention. This is what I used to help, right? And also we help with our clients, right? This is a script write agent, very detailed, right? No AI slop here, right? So this is what we take. Afterwards, we can optimize the script, right? Then we get the raw script. This is the raw script. Then basically also we get hook variations. We can choose a hook variation based on like the analysis patterns, what's come up, the opening premise, right? Intro hook examples. We can choose any one list and we can rotate. Right? So this is like agent 1, agent 2, agent 3. Then we go off click-through rate agent, right? What works for click-through rate. Then we have 48-hour agent, which I just showed you. But another agent that we brought into the mix, right, is our, I'm going to stay here, is our teleprompter agent app, right? Because this is how we shoot like very short period of time, right? Then we have a teleprompter agent. It goes up on the teleprompter and it can shoot at very period of time. So let me just go to run this agent, right? And that's like agents in working, right? Together, right? Not in isolation, together. So let me go to this script, right? That's why this is an example of an autonomous workforce working together. Right? This is our teleprompter app, right? This is another agent. So now we've generated it. We've generated the script. We just pull the script into here, right? We pull the script into here. This disappears, right? And also, we just add a new thing. This is something I've got a vibe code and improve. We've got talk blocks. When it comes as a chunk, we split up. It does talk blocks, right? So let me see if I've got an example. If I pull a script like this, I can click this button and it puts it into talking prompts for us. This is an agent, right? Check out now it's in talking blocks, right? So also we added a new feature, which is called talk track, which needs to be optimized. So we are optimizing that feature. But what I like about this teleprompter, you can use it to shoot content, and also you can use it for sales, right? We create a sales feature where you see your sales scripts coming and scrolling. You might have another, and you just literally you're crushing it. You're right. You're on your sales, you're optimizing, like literally same principle works, which we're going to get into another time. So if I go to start, right now I've got some tweaks to fix here. Now I can like change the speed to 1. Let me see, and I can speak, right? I can speak. Actually, this space bar button needs to be optimized. This it's optimized, but you can speak. Let me just put it into speed 1. Speed 1. So we're still optimizing this. Speed 1. Some little tech issues. Let me play it from here. This is a bug that we got. It was just working. Let me just go start. Oh, this is a bug we got to fix. So normally it was just playing, but normally we press play, and then this is how we shoot scripts. Our team shoots scripts at rapid, because it's all integrated. It's an all integrated system. So now that's a bug I have to fix. I have to go vibe code and fix. It just needs to be optimized. But let me go back here, right? Because we are sharpening the saw, and our CEO was saying this is what we've got to work on. So this is what we're going to improve our existing. So imagine that already, as if that was not enough. But now we're going to sharpen the saw and increase the efficiency of these agents, right? Increase the efficiency as agents, because we've got some insight. So there was agent 1, agent 2, agent 3, agent 4, agent 5 that you saw. The 6th agent is a teleprompter agent. So each one of those agents are doing their thing, right? They're working together, right? And like I said, when you saw in the mission control, this is me connecting the agents to work together in unison, right? Agent 1, agent 2, agent 3, agent 4, agent 5. And now we set up this automation, they can go and do that work, right? The world is changing. When I say the world is changing, it surely is. So let me just go back. So now we want to optimize this because we had some insight, right? We had some insight. And when the insights came from Vix, how you pronounce Vixen, right? A YouTube, literally algorithm chemist, right? Who's got numerous different people, like millions of views, and also works with so many people, right? So this is a new insight to create better agents. As if our agents were not good enough, right? This is where we take it to a whole next level. A whole next level. Right, and this is the YouTube growth framework called plus expected value equals the EV playbook, right? Sometimes we get one insight, which we did. We come back and we optimize the agents and take it to a whole nother level. So this is a whole next level, which we're taking it. So if you've got this team of agents working for you, even if you've got a business, there's no way how you can come and crash the competition. It'll be impossible for your competition to catch up. Just with these agents alone, right? Just these 5 agents, so we've got 60 plus working on our platform, right? 60 plus. So let's look at it, right? There's been a fundamental shift. The old strategy, like what I showed you in our agents, right, was looking for viral ideas, chasing trends, market research, and outliers. The goal was to raise the ceiling, meaning find a video that might explode. And like I showed you, where is it? We had in our agent, let me find it, right? This is what we did. This is what the algorithm did. Let me just go back. There is the planner. I've got so much tabs open. Let me close that tab. Let me go to the planner tab. I want to show you what we're talking about, right? That's what we was doing. In the previous agent, that's what it was doing. Let me go to the channel planner again. The channel planner. OMG. I need to optimize this and put let me go to, I think, where is it? Yeah, YouTube channel planner, right? This is what we was doing before, like what I showed you in our ideas. Oh, I'm in the wrong workspace. Damn it. Damn it. Right? So let me refresh because now I changed. Yeah, so this is what this agent was doing. Like I said, it was using the old method, right? Like we were saying, using the old method. Viral ideas, we had the top 10, like I showed you. That's what we was doing, the old strategy, right? But now the new strategy is focus on historical channel data, packaging, which is thumbnails, analytics, and probability stacking, right? So it raises the floor. So this is now what we're gonna include, right? Or upgrade the agents to focus on, right? We're gonna focus on that because we just need to optimize that agent specifically, right? Now the new YouTube strategy, right, like I said, is historical channel data, packaging, analytics, probability stacking. So this is how we're going to optimize that agent to prove its persistence, efficiency, right? And now we're going off these metrics, right? Hard data versus soft data, which is the heart of the framework. The heart of the framework from the insight that we had from Vixen, right? The hard data is view count, watch time, revenue, click-through rate, retention, subscribers, audit behavior, right? And we, like I said, we had all this. We had all this data. Had all this data. Where is it? We had all, let me close these tabs. OMG. We had all this data. It disappeared. Oh, I think they have an issue with it, right? Yeah, we had all this data. Sorry, we had all this data because all this data is here, right? When we go into one of them, we've got subscriber, view count, comments. So we're going to optimize that, right? To include that because that's more previous, right? So now the hard data, right? Now the soft data is thumbnail style, emotional triggers, visual patterns, color choices, curious elements, right? So now the hard data stroke soft data working together is going to increase the higher probability. That means our agent is going to have being more effective and efficiently to suggest ideas or come up with stuff for us, right? And this is just, how can I say, coding, right? We're going to code it that way. We're going to like create a case study, code it that way, right? And then it's going to lead to this, right? So this is the new framework that we're giving our agents. This is a complete EV insight that we got, right? So study channel analytics, find the best competitor categories, identify best thumbnails, identify the titles, right? Compare the market trends, view new video patterns, right? Measure and result and repeat. So this is what we want the agents to do, right? So that just brings them to my attention, right? Because let me make sure I got the right one now. Because in this agent, let me find it, right? When we click on these, the thumbnail shows. But we did have it another method, right? It takes us. We did have the thumbnail showing, right? Because that's a key component. But I've got a vibe code that, yeah. So basically, the new agent is going to do this basically. So the exciting part, right, is how does AI come into this, right? So the current framework, right, is creating what AI believes to be soft data and hard data. So when we combine those soft hard data, these agents will be so much more effective, right? So now this leads us to optimizing the agent, the outcome, right? So the potential is either to build or improve upon the existing agents that we have. This is how we optimize all the time our agents, right? Because we want to build a stellar, right? And if it works for us, it works for one of two use, right? Or through clients, right? You can come on this platform and crush it out of the water. Like I told you, the power of content. To create content, now you can create content in a very short period of time, right? With these agents working on your side, on your team, in your business, there's no way how your competitors can keep up. No way, right? Because like I said, it's a machine now, right? So agent number one, our YouTube data analysis agent, right? Retention, revenue, views. That was the agent that you just looked at, the semi-planner. But now we're going to optimize it, right? Agent number two, we're going to create a specific agent, right, for thumbnail analysis, right? Colors, styles, etc. Right? Agent number three, right? Intelligent agent, right? Top titles, curiosity triggers, emotion triggers. Now we're going to think about how we're going to combine that, right? We're going to combine maybe with the existing agent that we have, right? Agent number four, the airline agent discovery, right? Agent number five is the EV, hard data for soft data. So even though it might seem that way, right? These agents are working in the background. You just see that output. You don't literally see the actual agent and how can I say the infrastructure and all the stuff what goes behind the agent. So, but this is like the thought process what goes into the agent, right? So you just see the outcome, you just see the agent working. So this is how we're going to optimize these agents, right? We're going to vibe code. And I've got a little issue there. It keeps on flipping between or crashing, right? I still got to work on this, right? So let's go back to our platform. So this is how we're optimizing. We're going to optimize these agents. Let me just go back. Actually, let me just go back to the whiteboard. So this is what we've got a vibe code. Now this is how we're gonna vibe code the new improvements. We're gonna vibe code the new improvements. So we're gonna be working on developing our own backend, right? So we can overcome this issue. Then we're gonna be working on vibe coding the new improved agents with those new functionality and features, right? The new agents. So just to show you, right, this is what it goes, this is what it takes. So these agents will be improved. Well, I think we're going to add additional agent, right? So then we'll be able to like have rapid scale. So that's the agent flow. So let me go back to the platform. So I hope you're liking this so far, right? I hope you're liking this so far. I'm just going to go to our CFO. Actually, our CFO. Let me go to our CFO. I'll go down here. I'll go to our CFO, have a chat. So this is the future of work, right? Have you seen now how we create autonomous agents? To date, we were just working on one flow of agents, which was just the content agent. And we've got numerous different content agents, but the agents in the authority content on the YouTube platform, creating long form content to build authority and then distribute that authority in short form content across the several other platforms. And our chief operating officer was informing us of the different duties that we have to do. So I'm just running a check. I want to run. I've got to activate certain agents. I ain't got no alerts yet, but I'm going to start the day. I hope you found this stream useful, and thank you for being on board. But now you can see the future of work and how a platform, or what would 60 agents working in your business do for you, right? It would change the game. It would literally game the game. But I'm John Supreme on this platform. I want to thank you, and I'll see you on the next stream.